When I first came back to Canada as a Canadian in his 30s who had no credit history, so zero credit score, banks were not giving me money. It was kind of suspicious for them. In this video, I'm going to help people, newcomers with zero credit score, reach above 700 credit score, which is considered good, very good, excellence, and all that stuff, because I found a way to do it. However, the newcomers have it much more easier. All right, so let's get into it. So the first thing you're gonna need to do is, I spoke about this I think in my first video that I uploaded, is there's something called a newcomer package, newcomer promotions, right? Every big bank offers different types of ways to get clients into their bank, newcomers included, and they usually offer a credit card with no credit history. That's important, because I couldn't get it with no credit history because I wasn't a newcomer. You're a newcomer. The bank is telling you, we understand you have no credit history. Here's a credit card, right? Because look at what happened. Anyways, because it's like one of those, you know, that analogy, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Because you need a credit card to build your credit history, and you need a credit history to get a credit card, right? Anyways, so you get one of the newcomer package, get a credit card, now you have a credit card. That's step number one. Step number two, how do we use a credit card to build your credit score? We gotta use it with intention, all right? What I mean by that is you gotta be aware, you gotta be responsible, and you gotta use the card, because remember, I also explained this in another video, credit cards are not free money. It's not your money, it's the bank's money. So basically every time you're using it, you're taking out a loan, and the bank is expecting you to pay back. And that's how you build your credit score, is when they see that you pay back on time. And why use it responsibly and use it with intention? You got to use it in a way where you don't dig yourself a hole. You got to use it in a way where you pay the balance on the payment due date. Other videos I explained that again, but quickly to recap, if you pay the balance, you don't pay any interest, you don't pay anything extra, 0 cents extra. Whatever you used, you paid off. That sounds amazing, right? But to do that, you gotta know what your income is, and you gotta know what your expenses is, and don't go over, right? If you're making $3,000 and your expenses is $2,000, don't take the credit card and use $5,000, because congratulations, you're in the hole. All right, and then paying the balance instead of the minimum balance. If you pay the minimum balance, the bank wins, because you'll be paying interest on the other bill cycle that comes in, and that's a slow way of digging yourself a debt hole. So that's how you use it responsibly to build your credit score, is pay on time, payment due date or just before the due date, and pay the balance to avoid the credit card, to avoid the interest. So now you've been doing this for, let's say, 6 months or 10 months. Your credit score is now a bit better. You have credit history. It's shown that you've been paying on time. Your credit score is a little bit better. Maybe it's above 650. Maybe it's just 700. This is the time where you get another credit card. Now, I gotta stop and do a disclaimer. I do not encourage the use of any kind of credit. No credit cards, no credit loans, no nothing. If there's a way to avoid it, avoid it. This channel I made this channel to help people, newcomers, Canadians alike, the youth, to navigate the Canadian banking system, because the Canadian banking system is kind of weird, and unfortunately credit is a big aspect of the Canadian banking system. So if we are going to use it, let's use it responsibly, and I hope I'll help people use it responsibly, because I do view interest as pure evil. Anyways, now it's been 6 months to 1 year, you've been using this card. Now go get another card or another type of loan. All right, why? Because lenders, like when I see someone has 1 or 2 different types of loan or credit cards and they're paying it on time, your credit score will increase, because that shows you're more responsible with different types of credit, and it's not just one credit. So that kind of helps with your credit score. But just choose one kind of credit card or one loan and go to them and apply to them, because I explained this in other videos. Every time you ask for any type of loan or any type of credit, there's something called a credit check, a hard check, which decreases your credit score. But then if you pay on time after a month or two, your score will go back up to what it used to be, or maybe even higher. What that means is, don't go in one day and apply for 4 different credits. Your credit score is going to crash, and then that's going to stick in your credit history. And then when you come to a bank and apply for a credit card, we check that, oh, this guy in 1 month did 4, 5, 6 credit inquiries. That's kind of suspicious, so we might deny you just for that fact. So just choose one, go apply for it, get it. Now you have 2 types of credit or 2 credit cards, and repeat the cycle. Use, pay on time, use, pay on time. Try to pay the balance so you don't pay interest, and then you don't pay an extra cent, like you don't pay 1 extra cent more. And that's it. It's pretty easy. It's pretty straightforward. Pay on time. Don't go over like your limit. If your limit is 1,000, don't be spending every month 1,100 on your credit. That's, of course, is going to decrease your credit score. Pay on time or just before the payment due date, and don't go overboard on your credit. Right? You use anywhere between like 50% to maximum 70%. I'm going to say personally, from my personal experience. Right? So back to the story that I started in the beginning. When I first came back as a Canadian with no credit history, no banks was giving me a credit card. There's something called a second chance credit institution or credit cards, right? There are financial institutions, if you want to call that, and they give credit to people who have bad credit score or don't have credit score. It's called a second chance for a reason. They help people build their credit score if they found themselves having a bad credit score. So I used one of those. I'm not going to mention which one, unless they want to sponsor me. I doubt they're going to sponsor me, since I'm saying I don't encourage the use of credit score, and I view interest as pure evil, so I doubt it. So I'm not going to mention it. But anyways, my first credit card was in July 2024. And as of June 2026, my credit score is now 750 plus. It's 769, 770. Sometimes it goes up to 780. It fluctuates. It's considered good or very good, right? And all I did, ladies and gentlemen, was I paid on time, and I didn't go over, right? So my first credit card, the limit was 300. I would use it just below 300, and then I pay. And I'm paying on time, and I'm paying on time, month on month. And I think less than 2 years, my credit score went up to 750, maybe in a year and a half. So all it is pay on time, and don't go over your limit. That's it. It's easy as that. All right. That was it for today. I hope you found this useful. I hope, if you find this content something that you're interested in, subscribe. I'm going to be dropping a lot of videos, hopefully once every day, or at least 2-3 times a week. Stuff related to the Canadian banking system from a banker perspective and from a client perspective, because I used to be a client before I was a banker. Please leave a like if you like this comment. In the comment section, write anything you want to understand about the Canadian banking system. I would love to hear your opinions and make videos of what matters to you. Share this with your friends and family, anyone who's new in Canada or needs to understand the banking system. Until next time, stay debt free.